interesting comment about, since we were talking about parents on Pokemon. I love that you can customize your trainer now. It's not, here's option A of boy or option B, which is a girl, and we've designed them, and this is all you get, you know. I like that they let you play around. Can we talk about that in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu? They decided that your mom was going to be this skin color no matter what you picked. And that makes it interesting whenever you pick, like, super white girl and then your mom is, like, mocha?
Like,
and I'm
very
like, this
tan.
doesn't work.
But they don't show your dad, so he can be whatever he needs to be.
But it's still...
It's very odd.
Yeah. Because in Sun and Moon, I believe they make your mom the same whatever you pick.
Yes.
Like,
totally fine. But, yeah, this one, they were like, they just forgot to put on the on switch for that to happen. I don't know what happened.
Professor Oak's alive. Again.
I don't know, but it was interesting.
Collection.
I did notice that the one head I chose for the boy, his hair's white. It's the white hair boy. I look like I'm burned, like my face is sunburned. Mm-hmm. It's like red, and I don't like that. I just want to be like a semi-pale boy, like I am in real life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without white hair. Well, I have some hairs.
Yeah, the guy in Hoenn region.
I'm getting
white
old.
hair.
No, that's a hat.
That's a hat.
That's a hat.
Get out of
I
here.
always thought it was hair, too.
Me
Don't
too.
feel bad. It's a hat.
It's a
Oh,
You just
fucking
blew
hat.
my entire,
Yep.
like,
Okay.
last 15 years of my life's a lie.
I know.
It's a, his hair is gray, I swear. But it's a hat.
Yep, it's a hat.
It's like,
Love
are
it.
you familiar with the mascot for Hawaiian Punch? And his crazy red hair?
Yeah.
It's a hat.
Oh no, that's stupid.
I'm gonna.
It is. It's a hat.
I'm quitting after that.
I quit life. Goodbye.
Next thing you're gonna tell me the Kool-Aid Man's not really a.
He's really
not
a
real.
glass.
He's really a glass, not a.
He's not Kool-Aid though.
No.
Good images.
I'm working on it.
Did we want to talk
It's just all Hawaiian Punch.
We should just quickly cover our
Biggest. Yeah.
Our,
Yeah, look at that. That is. Yeah, I see it now. That is a hat.
It's a hat.
wow,
Yeah, look at that.
that's crazy.
Holy crap, it is.
It's like one of those straw hats.
I thought it was like...
What a lie, man.
Other quick
Oh, his
little
hair is red
things.
though too.
Oh.
The Krusty Krab is in the shape of an actual crab trap that they used to fish crabs out of the sea.
Oh.
And the reason all the houses in SpongeBob look like the way they do, they're all based off of mufflers that have fallen off boats
Oh.
and
that is
landed,
a
and
hat.
they've been living in there.
Son of a bitch. That is
Yep.
a hat.
You're welcome. I want to
No
ruin your
way,
childhood with mine.
man.
Yep.
I'm gonna smash the table. This is the part.
Changing childhood since 2019.
Yep.
Okay, so the last thing we needed to cover was what?
60 FPS.
Oh my gosh.
Adam's looking at more memes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Memes.
Adam is the meme master.
You've shocked me into just.
So greatest disappointments of 2018
Greatest-
slash
or
greatest
even
disasters.
Biggest
disappointment, Brandon, from Pokemon Ruby is that's not this hair color, it's a hat.
Biggest disappointment of 2019. Save it for next year.
Biggest disappointment of 2003 revealed in 2019.
Yeah, biggest disappointment / biggest mess, whatever we want to choose.
The whole disappointment is We Happy Few. Is that the
We Happy
consensus
Few.
here?
Yeah.
It's not the
I
only
didn't see
one,
good
but
things coming from that game to begin with. Because
Most
it was like a
disappointing
survival
game. Most
I don't know.
disappointing
We
game.
had such
I would
high
That could've
hopes
doomed it.
for it, though. Like I
Yeah.
had such high hopes for that game.
But when they came out in like early access, it was survival, and everyone was like, "I don't want this. What is this?"
Well,
and
it
then
was-
that's when they like pushed it back
right.
Yeah.
because everybody was talking about how they wanted more story to it.
Yeah.
So
because
they,
it was such a good concept.
right. So they were like, "We'll take care of that," and they
Oh, they took care
didn't
of it.
enough. They tried. You can tell there was an attempt.
They did try, I guess, a
If
little bit.
they could have let go of that whole survival.
Which I guess was the whole gist, but at the same time, the mechanics for the survival were just horrendous. Like, it was impossible to survive if you got caught.
Yeah.
Like, the whole... It just could have been executed so much better. The whole joy thing would have been amazing. But it's like... It's not like a spectrum. It's more of a toggle switch. So it should have been a spectrum of like, I haven't taken my joy in 7 hours. People might get suspicious, instead of, you haven't taken your joy today. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's like, take your joy. You'll be fined for 3 minutes, and then after 3 minutes and 30 seconds, everyone will know and come after you.
Yeah, that's bad.
Instead of it just like wearing off over time and it's slowly building up and people might get more and more suspicious.
Not even that, there would be an issue where you were just trying to rotate through like things on the menu or like pressing controls, and at one point you accidentally you either jumped or you accidentally punched. Didn't hit anybody.
I jumped over a fence, and that was a no.
But instead of it just being like the few people who saw you, and just instead of being suspicious of being like, hey, don't do that or anything, you had a whole mob of the entire town coming after you, and they would not leave you alone.
And the people in front of you as you were running know too. So as soon as you are found out, the entire city knows. Yeah. There's no localized area for it. It's just I was running, people in front of me already knew and were running after me as well. So there was no blind spots for me to get out of the way, and the police run faster than you. So there's no getting away. The only time
what do you do, just quit?
The only time I was able to break line of sight is just running down alleyways and jumping in garbage cans. That's the only way I was able to break line of sight. And they talk about how you should be able to like run into buildings, how you should be able to like crouch behind things, how you should be able to hide. I was only able to get trash cans to work. And I was playing on normal.
And you had to wait quite a bit too. Like they wouldn't just disperse when they couldn't find you right away. They would wait.
The problem is they don't have a system to go back to. So whenever the cop is like, oh, he was around here, he'll just like stay there. Because he doesn't have like a place to go back to.
Something.
Yeah, he wasn't like designed to leave it alone.
That's bad coding.
Yep.
Yeah, he was just staying there because this is what my NPC does.
Right. I look for this person now permanently because I have nothing to go do instead.
Yeah.
Like patrol an area.
Yeah.
It should be like, all right, well, when they're done doing that, go back and patrol.
The story itself, the atmosphere, the world was amazing. Everything else about it was just not executed well and frustrating.
What's up, Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't like that for 2019.
It sure as hell seems like it's going to be.
I will say Blizzard's handling of Diablo Immortal and how they reacted towards their own fan base was maybe not a good thing.
Yeah.
Where they pretty much just spat in their own fans' faces and say, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. But like these are the people that keep your company afloat and literally paid money to get in the door to be shown cool stuff. And they're shown a mobile game that's pandering towards the Chinese audience. Which, let's be honest, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was.
It looks like a not great mobile game pandering towards the Chinese audience. Like it doesn't separate itself from the, was that Dungeon Hunter, I think is the mobile game that's kind of similar. At least here in the States, like that's what it looked like to me. I can just go play Dungeon Hunter for free on my phone. Like, why would I want to buy that?
I think 90% of Activision and Blizzard's, because I will say Activision is the most shittiest company this year.
Yes, they are.
Is their PR game is too strong, and they need to just shut the fuck up and tell us the truth for once, because we're seeing through their shit. Because with Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Zombies is probably the best zombies that Treyarch has made. It's amazing. It's great. They got rid of the old perk systems. Originally, whenever you played Black Ops 3, everyone grabbed the same 4 perks. Because that's what you would take endgame. That's what would make you the best.
And perks are basically power-ups.
Right.
Yeah.
In case, for people who are listening aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, you would grab the one that makes your health, that gives you more health, one that makes you reload quicker, and the other 2 were kind of up in the air, but like no matter what, you grab those 2. Those were the first ones you grabbed every game, each game you played. Doesn't matter if you were playing with people, by yourself, it was just those 2. They got rid of them in Black Ops 4. And their initial reasoning why was, we noticed that these are the 2 perks that everyone buys. And we don't want you to get into like a rut with Black Ops 4 zombies. So we took them out. And it required a little bit of like change on their part, because then people were too weak against the zombies, so they had to like up the player like health, and they found a really nice middle ground for it. And I would say that reasoning was fucking fantastic, because me and Rachel, when we play with like her brother and his friend, all 4 of us, we all use different perks.
Yeah.
We all have our favorite, and no one uses the same setup at all. And that's what it should be like. 3 weeks, like what, a month later, the guy that originally said that came back and was like, oh no, we just couldn't program in the health one correctly. We had an issue programming it in.
Yep.
But we figured out the issue, so we'll probably add it back in later. And it's just like, you fucking, like, it's
Like, just
dumb.
don't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like everyone is like pretending he didn't say that. Because it's just like, that makes you seem like a dumbass.
Yeah, like you don't know what you're doing.
Your original reasoning behind it was way better than the actual reasoning for it. And let alone that, and just like, I swear, if people would have came out and been like, Diablo, like, Immortal is not the next Diablo, it's a more casual experience for more casual players. Just do that. Like, it's...
And release it on PC.
Yeah.
That's the main problem, I think, as well, is they're releasing it on mobile, where a lot of the majority of their player base is obviously on PC.
No, you could release a mobile game on PC and it still be
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be upfront and be like, this is a mobile experience, though.
Yeah. Set
like, more so.
expectations.
Yeah, set the expectations instead
Yeah.
of being like, you know, we've got a new Diablo game for you. Get excited. It's only on mobile. Why do you guys hate us?
Don't you have a phone?
Yeah. It's like,
That's the line of the year. Don't you have a phone?
I mean, I feel bad 'cause that guy was put on the spot, to be fair.
yeah.
It wasn't really his fault. He was just put in a bad situation, and he reacted in a way that maybe fans really took to heart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They really crucified him over that. I mean, hey, if I was as big of a fan and I paid to be there, I'd be very angry too if that's what they said to me. After I paid it was like $70 or $90 to get in per
Yeah.
person, I'd be very upset too. What if I went to like a Star Wars convention, the Star Wars Day or whatever the hell that is?
And they announced
Star Wars
last-
Celebration.
And they announced Last Jedi there.
Or something where I'm just like, I don't want this. You know, not even just The Last Jedi, but
They strap you in the seat and make
what if
you
it's
watch
another
The
thing
Last
set
Jedi
between
for the
episode
next
3 and 4?
30 hours?
Right.
Just,
Another
like,
thing
prop
set
open your eyes.
between 3 and 4. No offense to the Obi-Wan
Probably.
stuff. That would be cool. But like
Yeah,
something set
another
between 3 and 4 or
in-between
2
movie.
and 3, I don't want that. I don't want it. I want the Old Republic, or I want something like Kate Skywalker 100 or 200 years in the future. I want something completely separate. You can keep Skywalkers in it if it's in the future. If it's not in the future, don't worry about it. Who cares?
We get it. We know what happened.
Right. Yeah,
The
exactly.
Empire
we get these
happened.
characters, leave them alone, stop touching them, stop kicking the dead horse. We don't need it right now. We don't need it ever again. I mean, it was good, and just keep it that way. Build off of it in other ways. And create your own characters that are interesting and not just plot points that, you know, it's stupid. But yeah, I don't really blame their fans for being furious with them. I really don't.
I mean, there's been like 2 other major events I can think of with at least Black Ops 4 Zombies, let alone the fact that they've promised way too much in advance, and we've gotten a glorified beta of what they actually promised before the game released. There's not as much support for Zombies as there is for Blackout, because Blackout is honestly probably making them the most money. We get it. Fine. Whatever. But, like, some of us are here for the Zombies. Why not give us the same
And here's the thing.
stuff?
They know that.
Yeah,
Like,
they
it'd be
do.
different if this was a new thing, the zombies being a new thing, and it's like, oh, we didn't think you guys were going to like it as much, so yeah, we're behind on this. No. They know we're out there.
Yeah.
The game director used to be just Zombies director.
Yeah.
He got promoted to game director because of his work on Zombies,
And then ignores it.
and then ignores it. I mean, they've created 2 separate storylines. There's the Ether storyline, the one that everyone knows from Black Ops 3 into Black Ops 4. Then they created the Chaos storyline. They said they were completely separate, no crossover at all. They've been teasing the Ether storyline inside of the Chaos storyline in the newest map, which is just bullshit because they told us they'd be separate.
Okay, but
we
they did
wanted
that
them
Black
to be
Ops
separate.
2 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've done this
Yeah.
to us
So
before
they
where
think people
they've
want the crossover, but they really don't.
Well, here, the thing is,
Why tell us one thing?
Yeah, it's mixed messaging.
they've already done this to us. I think it's where the community is a little upset, whereas in Black Ops 2, they did the same thing. We got a new, like, set of characters, and they were like, this is completely unrelated to what you've played before. And you go along, and then, like, as more DLC came out, it was like, just kidding, they've always been related. And it was supposed to be, like, a mind blow thing, and it was at the time. But we've done it.
Yeah.
You don't pull us for that again.
And we honestly love the new one.
Yeah.
We don't want it to be held back by trying to adhere to old traditions from the old games.
Yeah.
And besides that, the newest DLC release was absurd because the big thing in the zombies games is the Easter egg hunting, where there's this giant-ass quest line that you and 3 other players have to do step after step after step, usually anonymous steps that are super hard to figure out.
Super vague, super just out there puzzle-solving things where it's like, holy shit, like, there's a glowing light on the map. You have no clue what it does, but you know it does something. And you need to find a bullet casing on the other side of the map that will do something to the light. It's shit like this.
Didn't they do it with, what was that, Black Ops 1 or 2? With the monkeys and crap like that?
Yeah.
The island? That's what it's reminding me of, that kind of nonsense.
That's when it started. It is just escalated into this huge thing, and it's great fun to just watch people figure it out. Yeah. Because there are YouTubers that's their job. The new DLC comes out. I'm going to sit here for 8 hours a day until this is fixed and I see the credits roll. And it's always been in great fun. Treyarch, personally, have recently fired mass amounts of their quality testers. Mass amounts of them. And treated them so poorly. Like, the one time that they fired, like, an entire group, they sent them on an early lunch. And the quality testers were like, are you sure? Like, our lunch isn't scheduled until later. They came back, they fired them for leaving, not at their scheduled time.
And that's a grievance they could file.
Yeah.
But they were told by management to take a lunch.
Yeah.
And they were let go because of that. You can't do that.
So they are officially...
The one thing I will toss out is Treyarch has not made any sort of comment on this. We are only getting the quality assurances side.
We have gotten multiple stories confirming from quality assurance.
But they wouldn't have a reason to lie about it, though, either.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right. But I will say, like, I don't...
They're not going to put out a statement, though.
They're not.
It's incriminating stuff. Like, they put out statements.
To recognize that it's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then they acknowledge that it happened.
Yeah. But then, like, that's PR they should be using correctly. The other thing that happened, like with this DLC, the new Easter egg was solved in 4 hours because a quality assurance guy that just got fired went on to one of the streams and just typed out all the steps into the comments. And was just like, oh no, you need to do this next. And then they're like, really? Started doing it, and it worked. So they just listened to the guy.
A little bit for context, before in Black Ops 3, whenever all the Easter eggs were happening, it usually took a day. Less than 24 hours, but because so many people were always working on it. At
most 3 days.
The record previously was 3 days to solve an Easter egg, which for the community was unheard of, to take 3 days. When Black Ops 4 came out, the maps that launched with it, Blood of the Dead, took a solid 2 weeks to solve.
Oh, wow.
Because of just how difficult it was.
Everyone just running around the map, shooting different things, pressing square on different things. Guys, this happened. No, that's just a glitch. Don't follow it. It's that type of stuff.
So for a quality assurance guy to come out, here's all the steps done in 4 hours, was a real...
kind of fuck you, Treyarch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
because
that's just...
Treyarch has commented what they like to do after DLC or after games come out for the zombies community. They set up a giant screen in the office, and they just watch streamers trying to solve it. They enjoy it, and that's
so that they can see that was too easy. Let's not do that next time.
Yeah, or that was too hard. You know.
Yeah. So it's just they were trying to do a giant middle finger to the developer that fired them and the grievances and all that, and that's just Treyarch from Activision. Like, Bungie's having a rough time with Destiny. Forsaken was like the best DLC to release for Destiny 2, and everyone hates it now.
Yeah.
It was great, and then it just kind of died off, and people don't like it anymore. I haven't played Destiny since I completed the story, and honestly, I didn't like the story either. It's just
I like the gameplay. That's all it has going for it, really. Is
Destiny has amazing gameplay. It really does, but they
can't figure out a loot system that like is consistent.
Yeah.
They keep changing it like every update.
Yeah.
The numbers on what you get, like how good a loot you get, how often you get it. Like, how do you know how to figure out by now? Like, you've had, 6 or 7 years to work on this crap?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time.
And they're already working on Destiny 3.
Maybe 5 years or whatever it is, but they've had a long time to work on that.
And they're already working on Destiny 3, apparently. Like, Destiny 2's the, bridge between them.
Because people keep buying it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being honest, that's why. I mean, they're going to make money from it.
Although they have come out directly and said that Destiny 2 has not sold as well as they anticipated.
That's why
and
they
that
gave it away for
upset.
free.
Yeah, I mean...
Nothing has sold as well as they wanted to. I mean, Call of Duty sold as well, and then Blackout apparently is a verified success. But I don't know. They're like the EA of this year.
Success because they're chasing the tail.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not the first to do it, and they won't be the
Nope.
last, but they're not really the
And
pioneer that
Battle
they
Royale's
used to
a
be.
thing now.
Yeah.
Battle Royale will
Yeah.
be in
Battle
probably
Royale.
every single FPS.
Yeah. It's kind
And
of
you know what?
interesting.
I think it should be.
Yeah.
At this point.
It should be like a
Because
staple.
it's evolving. This is the
Yep.
evolution of the
It's the new multiplayer system
it's the
that's
new
in place.
multiplayer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I have played Save the World in Fortnite, and I love it. And I hope they expand on it. But unfortunately, as I found out, and everyone else that plays that game, Epic really likes to give all of the presents to Battle Royale, and then all the leftovers to Save the World. And it's just something that's been happening ever since the end of last year, like 2 years ago.
It's just... You have to hit a point, though, at what point you can't blame them. It's
No,
what makes...
not at all.
My brother alone had made it a point. He made a spreadsheet of every time he would spend money on Fortnite. And Tony he's 20 years old, works a part-time job, and he currently has $800 into Fortnite. $800.
The worst...
And just now pulled the plug on, I'm not giving them more money. I'm done. Because this isn't what I want anymore. But here, the thing is, he's not alone.
Right.
And he was spending this money, like, he owns Save the World. He had the option to spend money on Save the World. This is what he spent on the Battle Royale stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. 800.
But they've
That's a lot of
got the next generation of gamers, too. It's not
Yeah.
stopping, like...
Yeah, this is the generation you gotta remind yourself this is not our generation, this is the one after us.
Oh, you mean the one that eats Tide Pods? Yeah.
Yep.
Tony's generation started it. Our
Yeah.
generation started it. The 20-year-olds picked it up, went nuts with it, made YouTube videos about it. The 13 to 18-year-olds, they're the ones that are going to spend their allowance on it for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, I could see it dying down a
It's just
ton.
cosmetic. You don't even get anything for it besides the
The
shirt.
yeah, $800 in cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that's
if it
the
was
way to
like-
do it.
Pay to win, I could understand that, but
But then it would be
I guess
unfair
Overwatch
advantage.
does the same thing. Overwatch has a very pretty loot box.
Overwatch did it first, and it was a success.
Yeah, made them a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't blame other places for going for it.
Overwatch is still popular,
It's-
too.
I know.
It's the
It
difference
is,
too.
but
that
It's
not
still
as
dying
much
a little bit.
because of Fortnite.
Yeah, but it's still there.
It's
not
it's
going to
still
totally
there.
die
it's
down.
not gonna totally die.
It's like Fortnite. Fortnite's never going to totally die either, I don't think.
Not for a while.
I
at least.
don't think Blizzard saw Fortnite coming though,
no.
No.
and I think they were really shocked when that knocked Overwatch off the top.
Oh, I would
pedestal.
bet so, yeah.
It knocked them
That's-
almost off the map.
I know,
Except
it's
for
gonna-
those who stay competitive and really into it.
That's
Yeah.
why I don't think Blizzard knew what to do for the longest time, and they're like, "Wow."
Overwatch
somebody
was like
actually beat
their
us.
safety net.
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch was that thing like, hey, we've got Overwatch. We
It's
have
like,
a
yeah,
constant
when
stream
World
of money
Warcraft
coming in.
Eventually dies, we'll have Overwatch.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, World of Warcraft probably will never die.
It's been
No,
dying
it's-
slowly, though.
Dude.
There's not nearly as many people.
Oh,
on it.
yeah,
there's
but
not-
you don't
I just
understand.
don't know
though.
that it'll-
People live
it's
their
the number one
life
thing.
to play that game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
that
remember-
game will
But how much does it cost to
realistically
maintain? That's part of the
Right.
problem.
Never.
Yeah.
It
They
will never
need
die.
that
That's a good
subscriber
point.
base to be huge, and if it dwindles to under 1 million or whatever, that
I
could
don't know
hurt.
though. Like,
I'm not saying it will. I'm saying if it were to, that could
to be
really
fair,
hurt them
some of their
financially.
this last expansion wasn't very good, and it was
So that's also part of the
yeah.
problem.
But the expansion before that, Legion, got me, an
Mm-hmm.
old player, to play it again.
Yeah.
So as long as they nail one out of the next 2 expansions, they'll be fine. Trust me. They have their player base. They're gonna be fine for a long time. That game will never die. It was started in 2004.
Do you
Yeah.
do you
It's
remember RuneScape?
2019.
RuneScape died.
No.
Well,
Mobile came out in October. It hit its peak amount of players actively playing
What?
since 2003.
what?
The most amount of players in 15 years.
I thought RuneScape
Got on to
died. Okay.
Us too. No, it's fucking gigantic
That's
still.
insane.
It's because it's like it's always the same thing. We just pass it on to the kids behind us.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, it's like in middle school, like you leave
Yeah.
middle school, I don't play RuneScape anymore. The middle schoolers behind you do now. It's just it always just like goes to the next ones. There's just certain things that'll never die. World of Warcraft
like
will
that.
never die. Pokemon will never die. It got closest with, I would say, X and Y, and
Sun
then
and Moon.
revived it.
I'd say Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon.
That's whenever they tried to beat back against the Yokai Tide.
Sun and Moon was just a problem because they wanted to change the formula by having the big kahunas and not gym leaders. And all the people, like, that's what you know of Pokemon. You go through the gym leaders, you go through the Elite Four. Like, I get it, you were trying to spice it up, but that's the formula.
Although you did fight them. So there's that.
It was the wrong way.
I did
I
not
agree.
like it.
And
at
Let's
all,
Go
to be honest
was the
with you.
right way.
Yes.
Yep.
So they at least know now what the next steps should be. Sun and Moon wasn't. Let's Go is.
Yeah.
It's just how they need to evolve.
Going back to loot boxes just for a second, I think part of the reason we're seeing such a big change in the loot boxes, as opposed to just being like cosmetic versus pay to win, because I think we are seeing a lot more. I got really into a pay to win game, Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key on the phone. I don't want to know how much money I've put into it. I
It was
really don't.
$15 every 2 weeks to get like their budget but like good pack
Every week.
every week.
Week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
every
I wasn't
week.
just buying that every week. It's just extra pulls to get better stuff and all that. It was a lot. And the thing was, there should have been like a point where like, yeah, if you wanted to be competitive, that's the pay to win. They were making it pay to just progress in the story and pay big.
Yeah.
Because you had to get the guaranteed good medal of the week out of pocket, you were going to spend $100. Unless you got lucky beforehand. But I think that's the difference is like, when I'm buying like skins over at Fortnite, I'm giving you money and I know 100% what you're giving me back. Whereas these, I'm giving you money and I don't know what I'm getting back anymore.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And
And that's why Fortnite's getting the money.
right.
Yeah.
Because like I don't play it as much anymore, but there's a couple characters that show up. Like there was a noir detective skin that showed up. I've only ever seen it 3 times in the store, but
Right.
one time I saw it, I put in $10 because I was like, I want this. This is mine now. But I gave them $10.
And that's the difference though. You gave them $10 and you knew you were getting her back.
Yeah.
But like I quit Kingdom Hearts because I was putting in 20, 30, 40 a week because I wanted to play the story and I wasn't able to beat story missions to go on.
Yeah.
Even though I was giving them money. And I think that's happening with a lot of
And
these
I gave up
pay-to-win
before
games.
you did because I wasn't spending that much money and I was way behind at that point. And that was only 3 months after the game came out. Mm-hmm. It's been a couple years and I can guarantee you we could get on. We wouldn't make a dent in anything that's in that game
It just
right
becomes pay a lot of money or you don't play anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Siege. If you try to play
Yeah.
Siege now,
Oh, yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege, you're
Yep.
gonna get trashed.
I
Guaranteed.
thought about it, but
I
I
bought
heard
it
the community
for
was not good, though.
That's what I've heard.
and I have yet. I popped it in the other night. Actually, didn't actually get to play it because I actually got sidetracked and did something else. But I'm like, you know what? The odds are that I'm going to probably trade this in towards something very, very soon.
Yep.
Because I definitely don't think I'm going to be good at this game, and if I'm not even like half decent at it, then what's the freaking point? I'm just going
Right.
to trade it in. I got Call of Duty and I got Battlefield to play now, so plus you mix a little Fortnite in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be what I'm playing multiplayer wise for the next year.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be Rainbow Six Siege. So I'm
Not
like,
Diablo
why do
Immortal?
I have this?
Anthem's
Yeah.
the only thing coming out that could possibly combat any of
Yeah.
those right
Yeah.
now. And that's
'Cause
if it's
Destiny's
good.
dead.
Yeah, Destiny, like,
Kill itself.
either you're a hardcore player right now, or you're just waiting to see what gives and what, like,
play at all.
yeah, or you're waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, my friends got back into Destiny, and I don't want to play it anymore. Like, I played the story, and it kind of just ended on a mute cliche point, and I was just like, I'm good. Like,
Which is a bummer.
yeah.
Yeah. Call of Duty has the same thing too, though, with like the loot boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know, because my brother, huge into Call of Duty, that's like his #1 game, despite the money into Fortnite. And they'll lock weapons inside the crates. That's the only way you can get them is by spending the money and getting them out. But that's it. I'm tired of giving these people money and not knowing what I'm getting back.
I would rather wait. If there's a skin in a 500 credit box, I would rather wait until it shows up in their premier store for $1,500, and I will give them $20 instead of $5 if I'm guaranteed to take it away.
Yep.
But that's what they want.
Yeah.
They want you to spend more money to get guaranteed stuff. They also want you to spend that money to maybe get it in
Early.
a random
That's what the loot boxes
Yep.
are for. So you
Yeah.
spend $50 trying to get that one thing rather than $10 to get that other thing, and that's
because
where.
their percentage is awful.
That's where we're at.
Yep.
But that's where Fortnite's winning too. You're guaranteed to get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the only thing that's randomized is if you miss it, when's it showing back up?
Yeah.
And they have so much stuff. They
To
come out.
rotate through.
Yeah, they come out with a new skin, a completely new skin, like once every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And that's just added back into the pool of skins to eventually show back
Because they
up.
don't take them away.
No, not completely.
So,
There was. It's good.
oh, no.
Oh, I was just gonna say there was an emote that came out around Halloween that I had seen online that's what had come out for the day. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And it's a common, and it's really cheap. I think I already have that on my account. I'll have to hop on and grab it. Totally forgot. And I'm like, it's a common. It should come back around. I just got it 2 days ago.
Wow.
And they finally, like, and it wasn't the legendary or the rare, nothing. It was just common. And they finally had it back in the shop 2 days ago.
Yeah.
My last point for the podcast is I heard a report that there could be a new Zelda soon.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what to think about that because I'm like, now wait just a minute here. Breath of the Wild is still fresh in everybody's mind, okay? Even though it came out, oh my god, 2 years ago.
Yep.
March 27.
Holy
Yeah.
March
crap.
2017.
Every other year, a
Maybe.
Zelda should release, is what their plan is.
I think
I
that's
just
too
think
often.
that's too...
No, that's what's happened ever since Zelda has started.
No, yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah,
sound
she's
right.
Yeah, she's
But
right.
I've gone through it. The list. We've had a new Zelda every 2
Or
years.
a remake, right?
No.
No, it's every other year is the remake, right?
Yeah.
So we're due for a remake.
No.
No, we're not.
No, we're due for a new
Yeah.
Zelda. We're due
See,
for
I
a new
think
Zelda
it's
this
too
year. We had a
soon for
remake
a new
last
Zelda.
year.
You know
But
what
it
I
could
want?
be a top down. That's the
It
thing.
could
Those
be.
are
Oh, yeah.
all every title mixed
Oh, like a
together.
link between worlds.
I
Yep.
think they should do what
Yeah.
she said
Okay.
earlier and remaster Skyward Sword and put that out.
Oh, yeah.
I would play that without
Actually,
the motion control.
a bundle with Skyward Sword, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess.
Okay.
It'll be like the Wii and Wii U ones.
$60.
Yeah,
You know,
$60 for
people
all three of them.
want all those games on every new Nintendo console.
Yep.
They want those games
Because
But we
they're
did get
classics.
Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on
one
Wii U.
console. Yeah.
Yep.
Which
So
is
it would
very
be
surprising
easy for
that there
them
was
just
both.
to put them back up to it and then throw
Yeah.
in Skyward Sword to sweeten the pot, and suddenly they're all the cost of a Nintendo Select.
I remember when they announced Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U, and I was completely floored by it because I did not see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Wow, really? They're putting that on there?" But I was like, "They just put Wind Waker on there."
Yeah.
If anything, I was anticipating a new Zelda, which, to be fair, they did put Breath of the Wild on the Wii.
Breath of the Wild got delayed a couple times,
It did,
actually,
Yes.
from what
It
I
did.
remember.
So many times.
Yeah.
But don't you guys just? My original point being, don't you think it's way too soon to just throw Zelda right out there again?
I think if it's a top down, more like
If it's a
that,
top
I
down-
think we're fine. If they're gonna try and do another Breath of the Wild, I don't think it'll
Yeah, it's
quite
just
work.
way too soon for
Yeah.
that. I mean, the other point being, can we just let the other Nintendo franchises have their limelight here?
Yes.
Like
I say
As she
that, and I
said,
am getting Luigi's Mansion 3 this
Luigi's
year.
Mansion, Animal Crossing, Metroid, they haven't been in the spotlight for a while.
Right.
Okay, let them have the time there. We know Zelda's going to be a success. Every time it goes out, people are going to buy it. It's going to be the game of the year, yada, yada, yada. That's exactly. So, why not
This is my
just,
second Zelda hoodie. Like, that's, yeah.
like, just let the other franchises go out there and breathe, man.
I think we talked about this before, too. If they make a new Zelda, like a new adventure Zelda, not top-down, it shouldn't be Breath of the Wild either. Like, I would understand using the same-ish concepts, but it needs to be different. Like, I'm thinking more almost like Skyrim-oriented, more people-oriented.
Yeah.
Like, Breath of the Wild was huge.
It does include remakes.
It does?
Yes.
Okay, so this year we should be getting a remake.
Since 1998, we have never gone longer than 1 year without a new Zelda.
Wow. I never even realized that. But I
So
think
we've
it's-
actually missed the mark.
I think it's going to be a remake, though.
2018
Part of me
counts
thinks it's
as
gonna be a
the year.
remake, and
I think
what she
Skyward
says,
Sword.
it's going to be Skyward
Okay.
Sword.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
don't want the motion controls. That's what
No,
killed it for me
I
on
think
Wii.
that's
Is they were
what-
bad.
I think it's going to
and I
come
didn't
back
want
anyway
them.
with the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are better,
Option. Give me the option to turn them off and
Yes.
just play the normal game, and I don't care.
but the game is so, like, you've played it, right?
Yeah.
It's so
4 hours of it.
quintessential to it, though.
I know, and that's the problem with that game. I think.
They'd have to
That's why
remake
it's kind of like the black
everything
sheep
about it almost.
of it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the black sheep of the 3D Zeldas.
I guess it would work with the Joy-Cons, but I still don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I don't
like
want
before
to
that,
go through that
it was
again.
Majora's Mask was sort of the
Was the weird one.
weird Zelda game.
I
And
want
to this day,
I
still
want
think it's
another
weird.
one like that.
Yeah.
I think if they make a new Adventure
That
Zelda,
game's got a cult, though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It does have a cult, huge cult following.
Bring back Oracle of Season, Oracle of Ages. Remaster those. Put them all in one cartridge. Why not?
Right.
yeah,
That'd be actually pretty
In-
cool.
in the,
Go back to them.
it would be super easy too. It's
Yeah.
just it's a link between worlds.
I
world.
really think,
Yeah.
though, that
So-
she's right.
And it would
It's going
make
to be
sense.
Skyward Sword. I
Yeah.
really
I do too.
I do think it's going to be
It's
Skyward
it's
Sword.
kind of the
The
only one that
Joy-Cons.
hasn't been remade yet.
Yeah.
And the only way to do it is on a Wii. You have to buy a Wii for it,
Yep.
Yeah.
and that's
That's
just
really the only reason why I think
Like you can
people
get
have
Twilight
Wiis,
Princess and Wind Waker all on the Wii U. You can get
Which is why
Ocarina of
people
Time
hang
and
on
Majora's
to the
Mask
Wii Us.
on the 3DS. You all have like pretty much a current way to play it, except for Skyward Sword.
I don't think they should go farther back than that either.
like
If they would say put Ocarina of Time on the Switch, I just think that
Well,
game's
they've
being
done it
made.
so many
remade.
times.
If it's a
too.
The
virtual
game's been ported
console?
so many.
Yeah,
Virtual console,
totally fine with that.
Fine.
Right.
But if you're putting it out on a cartridge again, like
Nah.
Jesus, come
It should
on.
be Skyward Sword next. I
Yep.
would
If
think.
if they were
Sword
going to
should be
do
next.
those games, it would be a collection. You
Right.
would never be able to release Ocarina of Time after Breath of the Wild, and people be okay buying it just by
Yeah.
itself.
No,
like
if
it would
they
have
put it
to
on
be.
the virtual console, it'd be fine.
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
like for like $10 or something.
Yeah,
But if you
yeah.
decided
Yeah.
to put Ocarina of Time remastered on a cartridge for $60, no one would buy it.
Right.
But they might buy that and Majora remastered together.
Together, yeah.
A double pack
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
$40 or something.
Yeah.
Because they've already had chances to buy it, like customers have on other systems.
Plus,
so it's not like it's a first time.
There's literally
It doesn't
two
even equal
copies of it
half the
on the
amount that
GameCube.
Breath of the Wild would
Yep.
get.
Two. There's two
Yep.
Ocarina of Times on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I do want them to go darker like Majora's Mask again, though.
Majora's Mask, I think that is still the darkest Zelda,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Considering
some
how much
reason.
like death and destruction
And
it considers.
honestly, that game scared the shit out of me.
Oh,
As a
yeah.
kid. That
Yeah.
moon is terrifying.
Yeah.
The moon's not even the scariest part.
just the creepy thing with
The
the,
creepy
mask and
mask.
all that.
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
great.
I'm thinking, okay, if you're a developer for this, what audience are you catering to with that?
Stephen King.
Not only that, it was Child Link.
I
So it's
know,
not
yeah,
even
it
like
was
they
even
went with
adult
Adult
Link.
Link.
Yeah.
I love when you became adult Link in Ocarina, though.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was a good twist like to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Such a good game.
Like, I just feel like they can't make another Zelda as big as Breath of the Wild in terms of scale
No,
again.
not for a couple years, I'd say. I mean, if you're gonna go that big a scale again, you gotta wait a while.
I just don't know where they're gonna go next, like with an adventure Zelda.
No, I think
Would you
Breath of
say
the Wild
after
was-
Breath of the Wild?
They've already said they will not be doing one set.
Is that because Breath of the Wild is
Chronologic?
kind of like the apocalypse?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild officially killed Ganon, apparently. His spirit and all that.
The only problem with that is then you really limit where you can go in the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Because isn't Breath
That's
of the
what kind
Wild?
of worries me. There is you
isn't
really
that-
set
Yeah, it's like
Until
set
you-
standards on yourself. Like you can't go forward.
Just
now
so-
you have to go back.
I understand this. That's the same timeline as Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
It's just set 100 years after.
No, it's set somewhere.
Somewhere after it.
So
But
I always
you
thought it
can
was 100
find.
years after.
No, I think it's longer.
They didn't give an official date.
It was 100 years between Link falling asleep in the beginning of Breath of the Wild and the Awakening when you start playing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was 100 years after Ocarina.
Probably a lot more.
It was a lot longer because if you ride around, you can find ruins of the towns from Ocarina. They're there.
That's kind of cool.
I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
No, me
Yeah.
neither.
Lon Ranch is
I
out
just
in front of
didn't
the
like
castle and all that.
stamina. I'm
Yep.
sorry. I did not like the stamina in that game. For
That-
climbing. For
that
like
was
battle and
very,
stuff, that was fine.
very hard to get by.
The climbing
In the
was such a
beginning.
pain.
Yeah.
Once you kind of got more and under
But
control, it was
forces you to
okay.
upgrade the health or the stamina.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
not
that's the
both.
part that always frustrated me. I'm like, why not just do both? Like,
Yeah.
I'm upgrading, why not just do both?
It forces you to spend a lot more time in there doing
Exactly.
It
the fetch
does.
quests
It would
to get
cut down
those.
hundreds of hours.
Well, it was to get the Master Sword, you need 13 hearts, and I had put so much into stamina, and I had like 8 hearts. There is a statue where you can exchange your stamina and your health back and forth,
Oh, I
and
didn't
For
even know
money.
that.
for money.
Oh.
So it's like 100 rupees, and they'll take it away from you for free, like a heart piece or a stamina piece, and then you have to pay 100 to
Okay.
put it into either or. That's how I got my Master Sword the first time.
That's how I did too, because I had quite a few wheels of health, because I am the type that I will just climb anywhere. I went back to that statue, I cashed in, like, as much stamina as I could into hearts, went and got my Master Sword, went back to the statue and reversed it, so that I had my stamina back.
okay.
Yeah. So, that kind of helped, but you can totally miss that statue. There's nothing
I don't
in...
know where it is.
Right. There's nothing in this game that really helps you with anything.
I think that's what's beautiful about it, though, is it lets you explore and find it on your own, but it
Yeah.
can also be a hindrance if you
Right.
don't find it like
I think
me.
it might be still the prettiest looking Switch game, though.
Bayonetta 2 is up there, dude.
Bayonetta
That's
2
a
does look
good
nice,
looking
yeah.
game.
On the Switch?
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild has a timeless look.
Yes,
Right.
Breath of
Yeah.
the Wild will not.
Like, when you look
It's not
over
gonna-
that hillside the first time, like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
game is
It's gorgeous.
The
Beautiful.
art
Like, this game
style
is- I
doesn't
love
let
the
it
art style.
age.
I know, and that game will never age. I
Right.
really don't think it will. It's like how Wind Waker stayed so...
Right. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
gorgeous looking
With,
game.
when I played the Wii U version, I'm like, wow, this looks like it was made yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when I was playing the GameCube versions, like somewhere testing it, and I put it on, I'm like, this still looks good. This is the GameCube.
Yep.
Like,
Mhm.
I'm like, and then people hated it at the time. They were like, we didn't want this. We wanted the dark, gritty Zelda, which is
Yeah.
how Twilight Princess got made. But yeah, people underestimate that cell shade, man.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, Breath of the Wild is gonna look good always.
I
Yeah, it
Plus,
won't
I
age.
actually like how they did Zelda in this game. I
Yeah.
actually really liked her in this game.
although I hate her voice.
Yeah.
Jake, well, no.
Link.
Jake and I have actually on each of our playthroughs we changed the language of the entire game because
Just
we could
because
not
of
stand
Zelda.
her.
Holy shit,
So
her
my
voice.
entire game is in German because her German voice actor much better, much more normal.
Mine's entirely in Japanese.
Yep.
I just couldn't fucking
Link
do
just
it.
goes.
Couldn't
want
do it.
Link to
And it's not
talk
like Link
someday.
talks, so
I want him to say a word.
just a word.
Just say
Just
something
no.
one day.
That's gonna.
I want it to be at some random quest or something. He's just like, word. And then that's it.
And then all the fans will just their eyes will bog out of their head and go.
What? What just
They're all
happened?
calling Nintendo at the exact same moment. Go, what the fuck did you just do?
Phone starts ringing off the hook. Oh, they found the quest.
Yep. Maybe not. Maybe they shouldn't have him speak. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
probably
just been
not.
too long. It's
Yeah.
just.
That's just what he's known for now.
He should say, "Well, excuse me, princess," and then that would kill it. That would kill the entire.
What if he talks like
franchise.
Jar Jar?
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness.
Nothing.
He's just so
Talk like
mad.
Jar Jar.
Just
Jar Jar shouldn't talk like Jar
Just
Jar.
Oh.
don't. It's not even okay to joke.
Or
about
the
Jar Jar
Link
Binks at
from
this
that
point.
bad TV show.
Yeah,
Oh.
That voice actor. There you go. That's a voice.
I'd be okay with that. I do think, though, it's going to be Skyward Sword, and I do agree with Jake too. They should put Twilight Princess
Yeah.
Yep.
and Wind Waker on the Switch. I do
Yeah, just
think.
do a bundle.
Put it as a bundle it at $60. People buy it. Then
Do it for Christmas next year.
I'm actually wondering if they'll release Wind Waker and Twilight Princess as selects for like 30, and then
Aren't
have
selects
Skyward
always 20
Sword.
though?
Yeah, but
That's the
I'm
way-
just like, they would have to port them, so they'd have to get their money back for the port. But then you can't bundle all 3 of them together and get your money back, because they'll want them, like, Twilight Princess HD was 60.
Yep.
They're not gonna bundle Skyward Sword with something else.
No.
So, to try and get their money back for the actual remaster. So Skyward will be 60. But if we get a port of the other two.
I really think they'll put it out as, if they would do it, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess each 40. And then if they would, for whatever reason, port Ocarina and Majora's Mask, it'd be a bundle for 60.
Yeah.
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 I could see like a Legend of Zelda like classics bundle where you got Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword for 100.
And Steelbooks sold.
Yep.
Oh,
That would be awesome. That
Yep.
would sell it. It's like Steelbooks you could only get in that collection.
Yep.
All three
Done.
of them.
Yeah.
I'd do it. Yep. I'd do it for 120.
People love those games, man.
Yeah.
They will,
Especially if they
even
get
if you would
something
do
to
that with
display.
Ocarina of
Yes.
Time, I think
That's
people
something
will rebuy
that-
it. They'll rebuy those games as many times as
Yeah.
you re-release them.
Yeah.
Yep.
As long as it's well done.
As long as it's well done, which they really
Yeah.
haven't.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
screwed
saying
up.
it's not. I just
don't think
mean,
Nintendo's
you gotta
never
do it
really had a
right.
hiccup with that.
Yeah.
But
The closest thing to a crappy Zelda is Skyward Sword.
yeah,
And just
Oh.
controls.
But yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
if you want to go back
It's
to the
the
beginning
controls.
of time, it's like there's some people that don't like Adventure of Link.
Four Swords.
Well, yeah. Four Swords was only
Because
bad if
you
you didn't
have
have
to have
friends.
other people.
Yeah, you had to. That was the issue.
Swords-
That's why.
Yep.
Four Swords would
You
rock
can-
on Switch
okay,
now.
You
It
can
would.
Yep.
play it by yourself, but it's the worst thing
It
ever.
is,
Yes.
yeah.
It's the worst
You
thing
should
ever.
never play it by
Nope.
yourself. Ever.
Because I see it and I'm like, man, should I buy this? Because it's like $40 now,
Right.
on the GameCube, and I'm like, man, no,
No.
sorry.
Don't.
You know what? Triforce Heroes came out on 3DS.
Yep.
I can absolutely see a top-down co-op Zelda now.
Yep.
Like, because the Switch always has two Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
This is the first console where they could release a co-op Zelda and it work
What if they just port
out of the
that?
box.
Port that. They already have it made.
Yeah. And then you'd just be walking around with one really stupid Link trying to help you.
No, that's the best Link. Is stupid Link.
Linkle.
No,
Caveman
that doesn't
Link.
exist.
Linkle.
Doesn't
Oh
exist.
yeah.
Well, just watch. They're gonna make
Linkle.
Zelda the man and Link.
You know what, I'm
Oh.
actually
Zelda.
really peeved that
Gender.
Linkle never became something.
Gender will swap.
Like
that
I'm just
shit.
I'm
You
just
wanted that?
mad.
No.
No, not even that. I'm just mad that they came out and was like, "Hey, Linkle is a thing.
Oh.
But wait a
Female
minute.
Link." But wait, she's just going to be a DLC character in this offshoot of the game.
But then they're like, nah, Bowsette doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, they had
That's
to,
not
Yeah.
canon.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
that they had
dumb.
to come out and be like, look, it's never
I
gonna be a
find
thing,
that
guys.
very frightening that they had to actually address that for
No,
how
the
creepy
internet
people-
killed it. It might have became a thing, but as soon as
Internet's so weird. They're like, no, we can't.
as soon as
they can't do
Nintendo
that.
turned on their computer, they slammed it shut and said, "Someone tweet out.
They're like, okay.
Done with the internet for today.
Never
Tell them to
mind.
stop now."
That is generally creepy. That is creepy.
Yeah, it
Bowser as a
is.
woman.
And
Oh.
Linkle is kind of creepy too.
Yeah.
Okay, here's actually kind of a little tidbit here.
Do you want to wrap it up soon?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm actually curious about this since they've already done 2 franchises with GOTY. What Warriors franchise from Nintendo are they going to do next? Because they've done La Zelda and
Yeah.
they've done Fire Emblem, which I don't know if either of you played that.
I haven't. I've been waiting for it to like super sale.
It is
But-
Like super clearance.
Yeah, like
20
the
bucks.
voice acting is
1997?
really,
Yeah, I'd pick it up
fucking
for that.
Bad.
Is
It is
it?
really bad.
Oh.
I watched 5 minutes of it
He
and I
watched
couldn't
me play
stand
it. It was
looked-
annoying.
the
I like
voice
the
acting was
gameplay.
awful.
The gameplay's actually fine.
Zelda was good.
No, Hyrule Warriors is awesome.
Yeah, that
I love
game's
Hyrule
amazing.
Warriors. Hyrule Warriors beats the piss out of Fire Emblem Warriors.
Okay.
though. So don't go in expecting it's going to be better because it's not.
Okay.
Um,
I don't think it's going to be Nintendo.
I don't think so either.
I think it'll go. I could see a Final Fantasy Heroes.
Yes. That would
That would
work.
be kinda
because of
cool.
time travel and all that kind of
Yeah,
crap.
that would be
that
kinda
would
cool.
work.
Or you know what? If Disney really wants to like cash in on some things, and Square Enix really wants to cement Kingdom Hearts as a series, they could do that. A Kingdom Hearts Heroes,
What
and
about Star Wars?
all of the like enemies are heartless.
Yeah, the,
Star Wars Heroes?
They would have to go
sort
with
of
EA
like that.
then, and
Yeah.
that's two very
know.
big.
Could you
things.
even
But-
do it with Mario? Could you even?
No.
That's what I was trying to think. I don't.
Because it's all melee for the most part.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, they do have some magical based characters,
But not
but
very much.
no,
You
it's
do?
Well,
not.
we
I
got
think you could
Mario
pull it
and
off.
Rabbids, and somehow that worked.
Okay, that was awesome. That
Yeah.
game is so good.
That's
shouldn't be.
all I
You know
keep
what? I
hearing
think
is that
you
it's
could do it.
amazing, and I
really
don't
do. I think
know.
you could do it.
You probably could.
And people
Are
would
you
buy
not
it 'cause
playing
it's
it right
smart.
now?
Not right now.
Yeah.
You sure?
You could
Yeah.
do Metroid.
I don't want to
Borrow it.
spend the money on it, but I want to know.
Probably
No,
could
borrow
do
it.
But then you wouldn't
Okay.
have the
It's gonna
character
20
roster.
hours, beat it,
Yeah.
and be done. But it's really fun.
Because it's only Samus and
It's got challenges and
really.
stuff after you beat
Yeah.
each world, which is nice.
Who
Okay.
You don't have to do them, but they're
Hyrule
fun.
Warriors was perfect
So yeah, go
though.
ahead,
It was
borrow-
made for that.
I'll give it to you before we leave.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Cool.
It's worth it. She's gonna borrow Mario and Rabbids.
Okay.
Kingdom Battle.
Because I
It's
told
really
you,
good.
all I keep hearing on like the Reddit and things like that, they're like, "This game is amazing," and I'm like, "But it shouldn't be," and they're like, "But it is," and I'm like, "But it
And it
shouldn't
even works.
be."
Like the lore
Waluigi
for
and
it even
Smash.
works. That's the funny part.
Waluigi
Never.
Smash.
Never. It's just a meme at this point. He didn't want it to happen.
Come on, man. You put freaking Ryu in the damn
we
game.
put
You
in the
didn't
piranha
put-
plant.
But not
Oh, that's
Waluigi.
lame.
The piranha plant.
Here's the other crime. Why in the hell is Shadow the Hedgehog not like a playable character? at
An
this
Echo
point?
Fighter.
That's
Because where do you
should
stop?
not- But
Because
they
you could have
should
put
stop-
Silver the
Apparently that's
Hedgehog.
where
When they
stop.
put the goddamn piranha plant, like she just said, they put Ryu. Why does Ryu need to be in that game?
Why not Metal Sonic? Why not Amy?
There's a bunch of
You
characters from that
technically
that could
can't
be
get
cool.
Metal Sonic.
What?
You could.
Can you make it?
Technically. But Shadow, like at least
make
if
a
you're
metal.
gonna stop somewhere, it should be
Oh.
Shadow. Like Shadow is cool. I'd play a Shadow. I
Yeah.
really like Shadow.
I couldn't tell.
If you really want to go crazy, you can put Knuckles in, and we could really do crazy things.
Or we put
with him.
Sin
One
from
of the-
Final Fantasy in it.
Recreate the meme.
Yeah.
Giant space whale.
See, okay, well,
By the way, that meme's alive
Space whale
again.
body slam.
Yeah.
Knuckles, it's January. He's come back. He's alive.
I heard that he came back and then died in 24 hours.
He's like, I am Dewey.
one of the characters that I keep like vying for in Super Smash since like the Wii U one, so not too long, that I think would be great.
Yes.
Cooking Mama.
Cooking
Because
Mama
she
would
has
be
all the
amazing.
utensils that you can use to fight. I just want her flying around the map, just being like, "Mama, we'll help you," and just bam, gone.
You know how many?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not gonna say it.
You
I'll
imagine
save it
her
for
just
off
like
the
taking
mic.
out a knife and just chink.
Or almost.
Right. I just want her to have a like
I was gonna make a bad
frying
joke,
pan
but
and
I'll
just
make
boom, boom, like you know.
Yes.
If we have Villager, why don't we have Cooking Mama?
They're putting the freaking Doom guy in Smash, so I don't know what's even possible. Like
BFG.
that'll be his big Smash.
But she's also a Nintendo IP.
She is.
Like
Yeah.
she has many iterations of game. They even branched off into there was like babysitting mama and there's gardening
one's
mama.
weird.
It is
Baby
weird.
mama.
I'm not
You
arguing
shake a
that.
baby.
Yes.
That's right.
Don't shake the
They
baby.
call Baby Mama.
Baby mama.
Oh, that game needs to be archived for like just documentation purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And put in a museum. And then you can go up and test it, like a demo that game
Yes.
for everyone that hasn't played it yet. Mama.
You remember
Oh, I
PlayStation
hate
All
that
Stars
thing.
Battle Royal?
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
were supposed to be
they
making a second
attempted.
one.
What?
I actually wouldn't mind.
It's
seeing
played
been a
that.
rumor.
PlayStation
It's been a
4.
rumor for a while.
What are you gonna put in it?
Wait,
Same people.
Oh my gosh, wait, no, not just Sekiro. What is it? Ghost of Tsushima. Dude,
How did you
I
forget
am
about that?
so fucking psyched for that game.
Is that next year though?
No, it's not been confirmed. I'm actually going to say that it's going to be a launch title for PlayStation 5.
I think so too. Yeah, 2020.
It looks rough on 4. Like, if they're running on 4 hardware right now, it looks like they're having a rough time making it run well.
yeah, it does.
Either that, or they are seriously just in pre-alpha, and it's just proof of concept at this point. But if that was a launch title with PlayStation 4, that would sell like crazy.
Yeah.
That would actually make sense, because Infamous Second Son was a launch title for PS4.
Yes.
So,
That would line up.
yeah, that would be really nice.
Yeah, 2020 that game will come out and that'll be awesome.
And then the year
Sekiro looks really
after,
good though too.
good
I
launch
know we didn't
title.
give it a lot of time, but it
Be a
looks
good launch
really
title.
fun.
And then 1 year into the PlayStation 5 God of War 2.
Yep.
See, I thought that'd be the launch title for it.
I think that's too soon,
I didn't
especially
see
if they're
that too
changing
early.
hardware.
Yeah.
We'll
if
get
they're
God of War
upgrading.
They need
2,
more time.
and then they'll port, I think, the first one to PlayStation 5.
I think within
And
the
come
first
out with that at
2
the same
years
time so you could buy them both if you
Yep.
didn't
of the
buy
new
it
console
previously.
generation, you'll probably get Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're years away from that, I would say, because Red Dead was in development for 6 years.
Right.
Actually, if you beat Red Dead Redemption 2, it gives you a hint of what game Rockstar's doing next.
Okay, don't spoil it.
Is it in the credits?
It's an achievement name.
What is it?
Endless Summer.
Oh.
Do you know what Endless Summer was in?
Bully?
Bully. It's the last chapter.
It's been rumored that they're going to
Forever.
revisit Bully.
Do a Bully though. I really
I
don't
think you
know
can
if
do
you
it now.
can. Like you get sued by
You know
so
how
many people.
You know how many news stations would be all over that? Oh, this is awful.
But that's
blah,
nothing
blah,
new to
blah.
them.
That
though.
wasn't-
They know how
No,
to
I
combat
know.
that shit.
They don't care.
All they have to do is just be like, all they have to do is stamp satire on it, and immediately it's okay, though.
South Park does that,
Yeah.
and South Park is always okay.
What would you rate it though?
The
Can't
original
rate it
was
M.
T.
Yeah,
You'd have
I
to
would
go
say
T.
they would have to try and do T, and
Yeah.
then every single GameStop employee on the face of the planet can market it as Grand Theft Auto for kids, and every parent will buy it. Because it'll be like
Grand
this.
Theft Auto without
There's
the hookers.
13-year-old kids that are buying Grand Theft Auto 5, so that rating
Yeah.
system has failed miserably.
Because the parents buy
For
it
the
for
most
them.
part.
It's the parents'
Parents
fault.
don't care.
Right.
Parents
They
don't
don't.
read.
They don't look.
Right.
No, because the kid will throw a tantrum until he
Right.
gets it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No, but it's the same thing as no, Billy, you can't go see that rated R movie. It's just
Billy's gonna
We've
cry his
even
eyes
run
out.
into it.
Billy's gonna
I
find a
have
way
like
to
a
go
small
there, right?
issue
Yeah.
when your sister Waska's. His sister has. We have a 5-year-old nephew. That's her son, and she'll call us and ask us, and she'll be like, "Hey, do you think he'd be able to watch this PG-13 movie and be fine?" And I just want to stop her and be like, "There's a reason it's PG-13. Like you're asking, like, does it have a lot of language, a lot of violence?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "It's PG-13, and he's 5.
Just
Yeah.
Why are you even asking us?"
for her point exactly here, if I had an 8-year-old, I would not take him to see Avengers Infinity War.
no.
No.
And this is
The
the
opening
stuff.
scene with
Yep.
Loki'd be enough.
I'd watch it
Yeah.
at home with
That
them where
is-
we're in a
yeah.
controlled environment.
The
And you
Spider-Man
can pause it if you
thing,
needed
they
to.
would be balling.
And you need to watch
Yeah.
it
They
They
first.
would be balling.
Correct.
Which I'm
Yeah.
shocked at
And the-
because
and-
they haven't done that.
The ending is scary.
Yes.
If you see all of these superheroes just turn to dust in front of your eyes.
Die.
And actually,
Dude, I almost walked out of War of the Worlds when I was 13 years old. Okay? That was the
Yeah.
first PG-13 movie my dad took me to go see whenever I was 13, was War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
When was that? 2000.
That was a while ago. That would have been 2007, 2006.
side note, Infinity War was the exact one she called us to ask
Oh,
if the
geez.
5-year-old could watch it, and we were like, no. And then she also did it as well with
I'm old.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2,
in which we nixed that for language alone.
Oh yeah.
and then proceeded to find out she let him watch it anyway. And we're like, then why do you ask us if you're just going to do it? But this is why video games, I think, get a really bad rap. Is all these parents do this stuff
Yeah.
where they're like, oh, forget the age rating, just whatever, and then they see what's actually in it, and they're like, they're so inappropriate for people, and why do we have this? It's because you aren't putting a rein on your children.
There's age
You-
rating for the reason.
Yes.
Use
Yes.
These kids
It tells
find
you
out
what's in the
words.
game.
They'll find it out anyway. Like that's the thing.
Right.
They have so many outlets they can go to now. These kids have YouTube. I didn't have YouTube growing up because they can go on, pick up their parents' phone or iPad and go, oh look, let's see Grand Theft Auto 5
I watched
on
PewDiePie
YouTube.
at the age
There
of
you go.
4.
There you are.
And
You're simple.
It's
You
just,
you can't make the decision anymore.
he got, the same nephew got a Switch for Christmas, because he loves Mario Kart to death. But we knew he was getting a Switch. So I was looking at some other games to get him, and it's hard to shop for a 5-year-old on the Switch. But I found Incredibles, Lego Incredibles, and I was even hesitant to get that because it was rated E10 for cartoon violence. And I was like, I don't know how she'll feel if she would see him beating up other characters. And then I'm like, but then he's watched all these PG-13 movies. I can't really see me getting in trouble for that.
Yeah, he saw the Avengers.
Right.
He's already been exposed to it.
Right.
You know?
So, but that's the thing is people who understand how these work understand to read it and see
also
why.
depends
it
on the
hasn't-
level of maturity of the child.
Yes.
Too.
That's true. That's true.
But there's only so much when you're 5.
Yeah, there's only so much you can
You
do.
shouldn't understand advanced concepts of people dying and stuff.
Right.
Save that for
It's
later.
just-
Let them be a kid.
It's just things, all these double standards and parents don't understand because this is the same sister. He's not even allowed to play guns because guns are dangerous.
Okay.
Can't. Yeah. That's fine. But why are we having him watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Where there's guns and death and bad language.
Yes. Rocket is in that movie. Rocket is the most crass
Oh,
Marvel
yeah.
character currently in the universe.
Or how about He was your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
But still
jeez.
might be the best.
Yeah.
One of the best Marvel scenes.
Just
ever.
things like that, like, and I think that's just kind of goes back to this whole video game thing.
Or how
because, like,
about
I don't
Iron
understand.
Man getting stabbed through
Yes.
the chest, which made
Right.
me lose my breath for a second. in the
Dude, our
theater.
entire theater just went like
Yeah.
it was so great.
Because for years he's the untouchable character.
Yep.
You know he's not going to die, but he's going to die.
But I think parents need to learn how
Yeah.
ratings on everything works more, and then stop blaming the industries when they catch content that they don't like.
Blame
that,
themselves.
Yep.
Parents just need to learn how video games work.
Yeah.
Well, movies
Finally.
too.
They-
That's what I mean on all
exactly.
of it.
Movies,
Video games
Yep.
have been out for what 30 something years.
movies
now?
have been out for a lot longer,
Movies.
and they've at least grown
But
up on it to the
at
point where
least-
they
exactly.
recognize what
But they
these
still
things
are
can
ignorant
do.
of video games.
Yeah, video games is just something they
Especially
just don't wrap their
my
heads
parents.
around.
I don't know about you guys, but my parents were very ignorant to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the thing: they did take a very hard stance in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. They would not buy it for me. If I wanted it, I had to go buy it myself.
Well, it's because it was the coffee shop version.
Exactly, and that was the first video game that said "fuck"
Oh,
Yeah.
to me. It's the first one.
My
They did
first
not use it
was
till then.
Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. I was
Oh,
like
yeah, they
14. That was my first M-rated game, and the only reason I was able to get it was because it was military. Just it wasn't like Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't nudity or anything. It was just the blood and gore. But I was old enough to recognize, like, okay, this is like war. It's not like New York City, where, hey, I should be shooting people like this. No, it's something different.
I think kids should not play Grand Theft Auto though. Like these
Well,
kids,
no.
these
Actually-
5-year-olds that are actually getting to play it. No, that is really bad.
And then their mom
Very,
tells them
very
to clean up their room in the background.
My brother
Jimmy, clean your
first got
room.
Grand Theft Auto. Can't remember which one. He was 4 years old. That was when he got his first Grand Theft Auto, and that's just
That's
my
insane.
parents did not. Me and my brother grew up watching South Park, things like that, and like they would watch it with us.
Yeah.
It just, but
Well, there's a difference. So at least they're watching it with you and can explain the differences between reality
Well,
and not reality.
but really wouldn't.
Shouldn't they-
At least for mine.
Yeah.
It
Right.
was just.
You would-
it was
you
because
would
they
think
wanted
they
to
would.
watch. Yeah, you would think, but it was more like they wanted to watch it,
Did they give
and
you
we just, me and my brother just
headphones?
happened to be there, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Yeah, it's fine."
And
They won't remember.
there's the other aspect of, oh, but little Jimmy just wants to drive the cars. So then I put Grand Theft Auto back and hand them Burnout Paradise and be like, it's from the same people.
Yep.
There's 40 some cars in here, and he can drive wherever he wants. Good. And then, but it's a
Then you ruin the child.
yeah, it's a far cry from
Play.
being like, oh well, I'll just tell him not to get out of the cars. Yeah, that doesn't lock
work.
the door to the strip club. He can still walk into it.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It doesn't work.
It's amazing.
Just not and play the game. Problem solved.
Yep. I think that's problem solved. It's like our other nephew's 10 years old and he's a huge gamer and we've been really enjoying it because we get to play games with him and show him our favorites, things like that. My favorite game ever is Okami. It's rated T, so that's PG-13. I still won't show it to him because there's quite a bit of suggestive
Yeah.
things that happen in it.
Oh.
Nothing terrible, but enough that I'm like, you are not playing this yet. You're only, like, I know you're only 3 years off,
That on
but
the Switch?
no, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is.
I
It
need
came
to
out
find
this
it.
year. on
It's
the
only
Switch.
$20.
It
Yeah.
is. I need
Yep.
to find it. I was waiting for it to come out on the Switch specifically.
Great.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I want to say something really quick. Do you mind? It'll take like 20
Yeah,
seconds.
yep.
Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered came out this year, so I was wrong on the previous game from last year.
whoa.
Game from previous years. It came out in March of this year. I had no idea.
Oh, so
I was
that-
just I was looking through a list earlier. That's what I was doing on my phone. I was like,
Yeah.
what games came out this year? I saw Rogue Remastered. I'm like, no. It's not
Assassin's
like
Creed 3 Remastered comes out this year, I think.
Yes, it does because the season pass lets you
Yeah.
have it for Odyssey, which is
That's
why I'm
right.
going to get the season pass.
I want to play through 3 again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
I
too.
feel like that would be
I like
that would be a
3.
nice
especially
trip.
remastered.
I actually liked 3.
I remember the Battlefield was like one of the best things I'd seen on PlayStation 3.
I love when the first hour you run into Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like it's nuts. My final point is, since are we gonna get a Mario Kart, like a new one, not some ported
for a
over
while.
BS. That's what. I
Maybe
thought.
towards the end of the Switch's lifespan.
Yeah.
I could see
Even
that.
then,
I don't know. I see the Switch
I would
sticking
be
around
willing
a
to
long
bet
Mario Kart
that
9?
they'll wait.
I would like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. And that's what I honestly thought they were going to do.
Maybe they just don't think right now we can't get better than this. This is what it is right now.
I do know originally before going with anti-gravity, their original thought to switch it up was going to be carts that could drill down into the earth.
Yeah.
So, like, they have concepts on kind of where they want it to go. They just can't... that's it, though. They just can't get it to work. So that might be...
It's not really a viable animation thing. Like,
Here's
how
the
would
thing.
you
How
see...
long is the Switch going to be a thing? I don't see it slowing down for a long time. I think
It's already been out for 2
It's
years?
been out for 2 years.
Yeah.
And
It's just catching steam now. Like, it's getting better. Better and better
Every single
year.
time they come out with a new IP, it's just multiplying it. And its abilities and stuff. And I don't care if they port PS3 games for the next 6 years. Depending on which games they port to the Switch, I'll still buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I see the Switch surviving for another 5 years.
Probably the usual lifespan, 5 years. And
5,
then
6 years, yeah.
we'll probably get the updated version of the Switch where it's, like, a better screen, better battery life. We've streamlined these things. And I'll buy it. But I don't think we'll see anything new for a while.
I would say next year, earliest, for an updated Switch.
An updated Switch. I keep waiting for them to pull the plug on the 3DS. They keep saying that, like, oh, that's not our intention, we're not going to. It has to be coming.
been a-
Has to be soon.
It's been alive for another 2 years. Just kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
They probably
And
should
just port that
just
stuff to
end.
Switch
yeah.
at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
I think they're
expansion,
scared to do that.
Yep.
The Dark Moon.
I think
the
because
I-
they're so
Yeah.
used to having
I
the
was
dual.
Do you know
so
the
upset
3DS
that they
was like-
put the remake on the 3DS
Me
and then
too.
announced it for Switch, the third one. Like,
yeah.
it
But
doesn't
that
work.
gives them the opportunity to get the sales on the 3DS as well
That's
as
what they
port it
still
over
want.
to the
They
Switch.
still get a bunch of sales for the 3DS. That's
It was
why
like the
they
all about the
best-selling
money.
console
Yeah.
in October of like last year. It was like the
Which I'm like,
best-selling
really?
console.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm like,
It still sells a ton.
that's probably why they're not getting rid of it yet.
Yeah.
Because
They're
it's
making
still
money.
they're still making money.
It
hand
has
over
the
fist there.
library at least, but I've tried looking at the store for it. It's atrocious.
Yeah.
The store is like
Yeah.
sparingly to none
Yeah.
at
There's
all.
not really any good. Well,
In
no,
terms
I
of an
shouldn't say
updated
that.
Switch, though.
I guess X and Y, right?
Yeah.
For good Pokemon games on there. I'm saying
Yeah.
good.
I'm
Not
on-
moderately okay. I mean good Pokemon
I'm on what,
games.
my fifth iteration of the 3DS?
I want to say 6th.
And not
we've
even because
bought
any of them
them, like,
broke.
all
It's
through.
just I bought the original one, and then they came out with the
XL.
3DS XL, so I got that one. Held on to that for a while, and then they had the new 3DS XL, so I got the red when it launched, and I hated the red
Yeah.
because everywhere else in the other countries got blue, and then they came out with the Galaxy colored one, so I turned red into Galaxy, and then the new 3DS XLs, they're heavy.
Yeah.
They're just.
That's
So-
what I have, and it's heavy.
And so I got to play around with one of the 2DS XLs, and I liked how light it was, so I traded it in for that. And
They're small, they're pocket sized, they're easy, it's great.
Yeah.
In terms of an updated Switch, though, I see there, like, if we get an updated Switch, it will be undocked, it'll be docked capabilities undocked. So it'll be a 1080 screen, it'll run things at 60, it won't overheat or, like, overclock it, it will run docked, undocked.
Yeah.
That's what I see us getting next year.
I can see that. Makes sense.
although they had an interesting statement that I was reading, I actually think earlier today, or recently at least, that they are looking into options of, like, expanding the Nintendo experience onto other platforms.
Mobile.
Like streaming?
But see, they didn't.
I don't
Okay, but
know.
any other time
I'm
they've
just
talked
asking.
about it,
Yeah,
they've
that's-
been like
that's-
mobile. We're looking at moving it to mobile.
Right.
They are They
PC.
just said they're looking to share it with other platforms, and I have no idea what that means. Nobody really does what he
That's
meant
kind
by
of terrifying.
that. Right,
Like,
because that's what they have left going for them. If
Yeah.
you want Mario, you need a Nintendo console.
if they
Right.
put Mario Kart on, like, PlayStation, then suddenly
What
there's
about
no
on your
reason for you to
TV?
buy Switch.
Not a good idea.
Like a streaming
I don't
service
think
for
they do that
games,
anyway.
maybe.
Almost like a
I don't know though.
Steam-
Has that been doing well for
Steam.
Microsoft and Sony? Like when they do that little, or
Like-
Xbox says the Xbox Game Pass. What does Sony
PlayStation
have?
Now.
PlayStation Now. So is that
It's
is that a
okay.
successful thing
See,
for both
I
of them?
love PlayStation Now. I think
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
It is fantastic
it's like-
in, like, theory and in execution and everything. It's just a matter of remembering it's a thing
That's
and
it.
actually using it.
But they have, like, great games on it. They have a huge library, and the thing is, dude, they don't ever take away from the library. They only add to it.
It's got like 400, maybe 500 games on it now, from PS3 to PS4 to Vita.
And for $20 a month, you can't really argue with
That's
that.
a lot of games at your disposal that you don't have to have all throughout your room.
Yep.
Whenever my sister was talking about getting our nephew, the 5-year-old nephew, a console, I was like, get him a PlayStation 4, and you know what? Buy PlayStation now.
Or like, don't even...
$20 a month. Don't do anything else. They have every single Lego game on PlayStation now.
Yeah.
And there's 13 some games for him to play.
Mm-hmm.
Unlimited.
Like, the whole reason we even got into it was because I wanted to play through the other God of Wars before the new one came out. They're all on there, and that's the only way you can play them on a PS4. And they ran really well.
Nice.
And that was when we still lived at your parents' house with terrible internet.
Yeah. Well, internet's just bad anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you're talking about the God of War 1 and 2 port to PS3. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You were able to stream it onto 4.
Maybe that appeals to like younger people, but I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me right now.
Yeah.
I'd still
that's
rather go and buy it and I own it.
Oh, I would too.
Exactly.
That's why. It's because you
Like-
can sell
Right.
it if you want to.
I think things like Netflix and Hulu are great, but
A gaming
gaming,
equivalent.
no. I just
On
I don't
live died
think
pretty quick.
Maybe it'll
Yeah.
it's more appealing to younger people, but not to me.
Our generation is going to be the one that's going to be like impossible to kill that like physical copiness.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I'm
No, I
moving
need
so
to
much
have
to
it,
digital, but if it's like if I play a game like I got Life is Strange for like free digitally, I went out and bought it physically because I loved it and I wanted to support them and also have it and display it. So it's like
the collector's edition.
Yeah.
You found, yeah.
Oh, nice.
so we're the ones that are going to
Yeah.
are going to be
We'll
hard to
be
kill.
the last generation though that likes physical copies. So
Yeah,
after us,
I
it's going to
think
be all
so.
digital.
I almost
I think.
imported Okami on the Switch from Japan because you could change it to English because we weren't getting a physical Okami release on Switch in the US. We were only getting digital.
Also, wait, there is no physical copy.
No,
Just digital.
just
from the
digital. It's still worth it, but it is just digital.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I can live with that. So I just deleted Fallout Shelter on my Switch because I found out it was taking up like 2.5 gigabytes, more than every other game on there other than Fortnite. And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with that?
We gotta wrap it up soon. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
No, no.
Yeah,
Yep.
My recording's
just
probably gonna
jabbed.
kill
I'm
itself
just,
here soon.
I'm
Okay.
just blabbering, so you can do.
Well, that was fun. Talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If anyone stayed to the end, thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Listen to us talk about
Good
Legend
for
of
you.
Zelda and
Yeah,
Nintendo consoles and all that good stuff.
Nintendo, man.
But yeah, that was our Game of the Year podcast mixed with some other stuff at the end there. Nothing wrong with that. That was fun. Fun content. I think I am actually just going to break these up into 3 separate videos.
Yeah.
Release them. I was going to put it as one long one. That's just too long. No one's gonna listen to that.
No.
3.5.
Turn it on and just be like 4 hours. No thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I like that for work because I get to listen to
Right.
stuff for work. But if you don't do that and you just want small bite-sized stuff, it'll be a little bit easier to stomach an hour and 20 minutes instead of 3 or 4
There's
hours.
some people that run YouTube videos all night.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I mean, hey, everyone's different, but I'd rather give people an option to
Right.
listen to the whole
Yeah.
thing or some of it, come back later. But yeah, for everybody that listened, thank you. This was fun. We'll have to do this again next year. Who knows? Maybe Jake's putting pop rocks, Japanese pop rocks in his mouth, so this should be
Take a
interesting.
listen.
Those were the pop rocks.
And then
There you go. There they are.
and
They're
then
showing up.
cut, then cut.
But yeah, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks guys for coming over. This was fun.